Welcome, stars. This is G. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Astrology. We are going to take a walk like we always do through the energies. And this time we're in the month of July and we have a full moon coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about what a full moon means, and then we'll talk about what sign the full moon is in, because then when we understand what sign it's in, it gives us more details of the energetic weather. Going to be sunshine or gray skies or even rain or possibly snow. Will there be thunderstorms, right? Or will it be the perfect day to go sit at the beach, you know, where you've got like those beautiful blue skies with the intermittent fluffy, friendly looking clouds, right? That might even have just a little bit of dark gray edging along the bottom for the contrast, you know, but then there's that sweet, cool breeze coming up off of the ocean or the lake or wherever it is that you're enjoying your beach, and you've got maybe your favorite drink in your hand, and you're just relaxing. You're enjoying the environment. So what kind of weather will it be? Let's find out. And so when we talk about full moons, a moon, first of all, when it gets full, it represents heightened emotions. Okay. Now, some would say, well, why? Why? Okay. It's actually quite logical. The moon, it rules the sign of Cancer, and Cancer energy is a water energy, right? So the moon, water is emotions. So if you want to get technically, like dive deeper into the technical aspect without getting too technical, water scientifically is a great conductor of energy. Think about that. So if water is a great conductor of energy and you feel a certain way, right? Water, the emotions, its feelings, it's empathy. So when you have a full moon, when the moon is at its brightest, right? And it's at its brightest because up in the sky, the sun is exactly at the exact opposite angle of it. They're literally opposing each other. So it's a sun on one end and the moon at the other end. And so that means they'll be in opposite signs. So we're going to talk about what sign the full moon is in, and then also understanding what sign the sun is in, because it's exactly opposite the full moon, will help us to also understand what we'll be dealing with or what we can expect. And what is it possibly that our emotions will be elevated about? Let's find out. We're going to pull up a chart. We're going to take a peek, and we're going to try to just go over this in a efficient way. Yeah. Let's see if G can handle that. So here we go. The first thing I want to do is show you my cursor, top right-hand corner, and I'll create the number 8 and 1. You guys with me? So now that you're with me, the first thing we're going to do, I know there's a lot of stuff on this chart, okay? So just don't be overwhelmed. Follow the cursor, okay? We're looking for the moon. We're looking for the moon, and look, it's not far away. Look at that. It's right here. So that's the moon sign. And it's at 21 degrees and 21 minutes in the sign of Capricorn. Yeah, this is the sign of Capricorn energy. Okay. So that means if the sun is exactly opposite, right? That's what I mentioned earlier, that means the sun should be the sign that's opposite of Capricorn. And if you don't know, the sign of Cancer is the exact opposite of the sign of Capricorn. So look, if we go look in the chart, here's the sun at 21 degrees, 21 degrees, 21 minutes in the sign of Cancer. You see that? So understanding what Cancer energy means and Capricorn energy, and then what the sun means and what the moon means, helps us to understand what we'll be experiencing or what's the forecast? What's the energetic forecast going to be? Okay. So the moon is emotions, right? I already talked about that. The sign of Capricorn, your goals, your ambitions. Now, when it's Capricorn energy, it's usually like big boss energy too. It's like business and government. It's people who are kind of like at the top. Or if you don't experience life in that way, some of us don't pay attention to what's going on in the government. Some of us, we have a boss at our job, right? So just think about it like that, the JOB and whoever's in charge. Are you in charge? Do you have somebody in charge of you? Now, if the moon is there, this can be a heightened emotions around something that happens with your goals, your professional goals, and it could be your job. So for some of you, this emotional heightened thing could come through restrictions because that is Capricorn energy. Typically, it's like rules, regulations, restrictions, right? Think about that. Somebody who's in charge, well, they're in charge, and what's their job? Their job is to make sure you follow the rules. Their job is to say, hey, this is how we do things here. Or their job's to, make sure they're managing. That's Capricorn management. The long-term financial success, that's Capricorn as well, right? So we do know that we've been hearing about a lot of layoffs that were coming, in different large businesses. And so this would be that large businesses, banking, government. But yeah, the big corporations. So the moon also is feelings, but what about the public, right? And family and mom and emotions, right? So it's really kind of an interesting time when you have a full moon in Capricorn because the moon itself represents people, family, home, and the public. And Capricorn represents the opposite of that. Yeah. Like if the moon represents your emotions and your family and your home and your feelings, and Capricorn energy is your job, right? It's the opposite of your home. It's your work. It's where you go when you're not at home, right? You spend a lot of time at home. And then when you go somewhere else where that's a lot of time, it's at the job, right? So there's an interesting combination of energy happening. And again, having a full moon in Capricorn, these happen, right? Yeah, this is not uncommon. But we also have the sun in Cancer. Now, this is normal as well. This is an event that happens yearly, folks. All right. We also have Mercury in the sign of Cancer. All right. So there's a lot of energy surrounded around Cancer. And it's the same as the moon because the moon rules the sign of Cancer. So we're talking mom, nurturing, emotional satisfaction, needs, feelings, right? That's all Cancer energy, but it's also the public because if we think of the word family, right? The moon and the Cancer, family, the ability to have family, feminine energy. This is divinely feminine because it's the female that is given that gift. All this Cancer energy, it is really talked about like it's a portal because we go from one area of life to the next. And when we think about a fetus being in a mother's belly, that's the mother's body, right? And then when the fetus is born, when the fetus pops out, it literally becomes an independent living being. And that's the rising sign. I've talked about that in the past. That's how we get what somebody's ascendant is. Again, rising sign and ascendant are the same. There's this portal type of energy that happens. You go from one area of existence, you pass through this sort of passageway, this doorway, and all of a sudden you're somewhere else. Yeah. So it's like the mom, the mother, the female, holds the key to that doorway.